On the beautiful campus of Rochester Christian University and inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, this is Warriors basketball on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen MacDonald here with you saying hello everyone and welcome to our broadcast as the Rochester Christian Warriors host the Lourdes Grey Wolves. Lourdes comes into play here this evening on a Tuesday night. 6-1 on the year overall, 2-0 in WAC play. The Warriors, meanwhile, just 1-6 on the 2024-25 campaign, and they dropped their lone conference matchup so far this season last week on the road against Cornerstone. So this will be the first time this season that we see the Warriors at home in conference play. Only have seen them a few other times previously on their home floor, one being their exhibition game against Oakland and then their regular season home opener against Lambton. So one of the few opportunities so far this year that we have seen the Warriors at home. Get to the starting lineups for both these teams as we're just moments away from the opening tip. For the Grey Wolves, almost exactly what they've run out there their first 7 games. Only one notable change in the starting 5 for them. And for head coach Tandy Bradford, Olivia Deja, Emma Pedroza, and Aden Gemma will be the guards. Tamaya Worthy on the wing, and the only difference in their starting 5 here tonight, Grace Ryan getting the start at forward. And now looking at how the Warriors will start things out for head coach Jared Ocampo. Simone Andrews starting at guard along with Amari Martin in the backcourt. JC Summers on the wing. Tambry Williams and Melanie Moore round out the starting 5. Opening tip between the Warriors and the Grey Wolves coming your way in just a few moments. We'll step aside, though, and send it down to the floor as we get the national anthem and starting lineups announced here to wrap up pregame on the RC Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Garth Pleasant Arena for today's women's basketball matchup between the Lourdes University Grey Wolves and your Rochester Christian University Warriors. The Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference and the NAI are committed to maintaining the true spirit of competition in athletics. As such, please do your part by showing respect to every spectator, athlete, coach, and official involved in today's contest. At this time, please rise and remove your hats for our pregame prayer. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner by which our words and our actions are pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in the spirit of sportsmanship with respect to the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us in the game today. Amen. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. And now for the starting lineups. First, the starting lineup for the Gray Wolves. At guard from Napoleon, Ohio, number 2, Ella Pedroza. At forward from Temperance, Michigan, number 11, Grace Ryan. At forward from Perrysburg, Ohio, number 15, Macy Stringfellow. At guard from Perrysburg, Ohio, number 24, Nadine Gemma. And at guard from Toledo, Ohio, number 32, Tanya Worthy. The coach of the Gray Wolves is Tandy Bradford. She's assisted by Ron Langowar and Ellie Reiner. And now, the starting lineup for your Rochester Christian University Warriors. At guard from Fort Huron, Michigan, number 5, Simone Andrews. At forward from Carolina, Michigan, number 11, Casey Summers. At guard from Western Ohio, number 20, Eden Murray Martin. At center from New Baltimore, Michigan, number 33, Tambury Williams. And at forward from Warren, Michigan, number 34, Melanie Moore. The coach for your Warriors, Gerald Campo, is assisted by Steve Brown and Jay Rogers.
Welcome back on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen MacDonald here with you. Opening tip between the Lourdes Gray Wolves and Rochester Christian Warriors coming up in just seconds. Do have a adjustment to make with the starting lineups for Lourdes. Mentioned just a moment ago in our pregame coverage, Olivia Deja would get the start at guard. She exits the starting lineup. Macy Stringfellow is in to replace her. And J.C. Summers, to get us going, knocks down a couple of free throws. A technical foul was issued before the opening tip to Lourdes. So just like that, without a single second coming off the clock, Warriors lead it by a pair thanks to a couple free throws by J.C. Summers. Emma Pedroza secured the opening tip. Gemma for 3, splash. So they spot the Warriors too, but Naden Gemma hits the 3. Here's Simone Andrews on the run, goes off glass, no. Offensive rebound Moore. Just above the free throw line to Summers, can't knock down the jumper, and the rebound away to Lourdes. Gemma hit that 3 a moment ago. She has it here now on the exchange with Pedroza, averaging just about 12.5 points per game this year. Sideline 3 comes off the front of the rim and down to Melanie Moore. Stretch it up the floor looking for Williams, who slams the brakes and scores. Fast-paced start to our game. We're a minute in, and the Warriors lead by 1. And again, if you're just joining us, technical foul was issued to Lourdes right at the opening tip, so Summers hit a couple free throws before we even jumped it up. This is tapped out of bounds and will stay here. So again, to start out this one, it's Pedroza, Ryan, Stringfellow, Gemma, and Worthy. Toss this one into the backcourt for Naden Gemma. Simone Andrews, J.C. Summers, Amari Martin, Tambry Williams, and Melanie Moore, the 5 for Coach Ocampo, as Summers steps in front and takes this away. Looking up the floor for Moore, sends it back outside. Martin left alone for 3. Give me that! Give the assist to Melanie Moore. And it's good to see Amari Martin back in the lineup for the Warriors. Missed the first couple games of this season. Now the Warriors putting on a bit of a trap here. They dump it inside, layup goes. Counted in a foul for Grace Ryan. Ryan comes in just about 9 points per game so far on the year, knocks down the free throw, and she's got 3 early. Also comes in averaging about 4 rebounds per contest as well. Williams has it slapped away into the hands of Emma Pedroza. Pedroza, 17 points in each of the meetings last year with the Warriors. Sideline 3 rips the net. Second time tonight for Naden Gemma. Here's Andrews, who had a season-high 15 last time out against Cornerstone last week. Summers curling and hitting. Solid start for J.C. Summers. Gives her 4. We're level at 9. Go inside, 1 dribble, and the lay-in good. Moore on the other end. Again, up and down the floor we go. Warriors come into this one 63 points per game, 76 points per contest on the other side, as this is blocked out of bounds, and it's going the other way. J.C. Summers high points the ball. Mentioned the 63 points per game for the Warriors, 76 points per game for Lourdes this year. Gray Wolves shooting at around 45% on the year. Warriors this season have not shot it particularly strong. Just 40% from the floor, 27% roughly from three-point range, and only about 54% at the free throw line. Up fake for Melanie Moore. Tried to go outside for Summers, but she traveled with it before the pass. Turnover by the Warriors with 6:08 to go in the opening quarter. We're level at 11. Stephen MacDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. That turnover by the Warriors, just their second of the day so far. A team that has struggled in the turnover department this season, 20 per game through their first 7 regular season games. Pull-up jumper does not go. That was Deja on the try. Shahad Bakar into the basketball game, gives it up to a driving Amari Martin. High off glass, one hop and down. Warriors reclaim the lead by 2 on the lay-in by Martin. This jump shot does not go. Another rebound for Moore. Finds the outlet in Shahad Bakar, who puts her head down, drops it off to Williams. Count it, and the foul. And you can see with this start, the game plan for Rochester Christian so far, we've got 5:16 still to go in the first quarter. They're 6 out of 8 from the floor as Williams buries the free throw. They've only attempted 1 3 so far. They made it. That was a wide open look for Amari Martin. And they've only turned it over twice, but they are pushing the tempo here early. And they're up by 5 after the 3-point play by Tambry Williams. Going to the baseline and coming up well short. That was Emma Pedroza. Battle for it on the floor. It's tied up. And it looks like the possession arrow is going the other way. Timeout on the floor with 4:58 to go in the first quarter. Warriors lead it by 5 from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball.
The value of champions of character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Welcome back on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you. Warriors lead at 16-11 with 4:58 to go in the first quarter. Warriors have shot it 6 out of 8 to begin this one, 4 out of 10 from the floor for the Gray Wolves. And on those 6 field goals, Warriors have assisted on 4 of them, coming from 4 different players. In fact, Summers, Melanie Moore, Simone Andrews, and Shahad Bakar all with assists so far for Rochester Christian. Martin and Tambry Williams have 5 to lead the Warriors. Nadine Gemma has 6. She's knocked down a couple triples so far, and this one has 6. Bakar at the elbow pulls up. That's off the rim. Tracking the rebound was Moore. And they'll say tapped out of bounds, last touched by the Gray Wolves. Shahad Bakar will inbound. She floats it out high for Moore. Here's Martin, who's going to drive right from where she hit that 3 earlier. This goes high off glass, no. For Mila Alls, whistling a foul inside with 4:36 to go in the first quarter. Bakar, extra pass, lay in good. That was a good look. Looked like Shahad Bakar might have just been able to pull up there from the baseline. Instead, just bumped it inside for Melanie Moore, who tips this pass. Shahad Bakar gets a hand on it, but swats it away out of bounds. So on the floor, it's Deja Pedroza, Grace Ryan, Tamaya Worthy, and Cameron Ivy for Lourdes. Shahad Bakar, J.C. Summers, Amari Martin, Mila Alls, and Melanie Moore, the 5 for the Warriors. Dump it inside, turning the corner. Won't get the shot to fall for Cameron Ivy, but does draw the foul. Sounds like they'll get Melanie Moore for the foul. That'll be the first on Moore, team second. Free throw pops in. So Ivy, 34, is at the line. Moore, 34, is the one that fouled her, as both free throws rattle around and fall. The Warriors still lead it by 5, 4:07 to go in the first. Into the ball game for Rochester Christian is Emily Lockey, the freshman out of St. Cloud, Florida. Lowry lobs it inside. Williams can't finish. Was on a severe angle tight to the baseline. Away with it comes Lourdes. Pedroza goes far side with it. Driving baseline, floating, got it. Worthy with the floater, give the assist to Pedroza. And this is swiped, taken away from Lowry. Off and running is the Gray Wolves. Off glass doesn't go. It runs off for Pedroza. Shahad Bakar saved it, but she saved it to Lourdes. Wide open is Pedroza, who again can't hit. Followed her own miss and got it that time around. And just like that, a quick run by Lourdes brings it back to within one. Off a little screen by Williams, wraps it around on the baseline, and Lockey dropped it out of bounds. Couple quick turnovers piled up by the Warriors. That's their third in just the last few minutes. They've got 5 now on the quarter. Send it into the corner for Pedroza. She'll step inside, get all the way to the low block and hit. And the run continues for Lourdes. They get the lead by 1. Outside it goes for Alls. They'll run it back to the point with Shahad Bakar. Lockey goes free throw line, goes inside, but traveled with it. Hesitated for a moment as she turned the corner at the free throw line. Don't think she expected to be left alone like that as she went up for the shot. 6th turnover by the Warriors with 2:10 to go in the first. Three on the way is through. Pedroza starting to catch fire. Mentioned earlier on in our broadcast, in both meetings a year ago against the Warriors, put up 17 in those contests, did Emma Pedroza. Comes into this one averaging almost 19 per game, which, if that holds the rest of the way, would be a career high for a season in terms of points per game. In her previous 2 seasons with Lourdes, averaged 12 points per game in both years. She'll pull this one off the floor. Another turnover by the Warriors. Stretch it up the floor with 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Go inside. That was poked away by Mila Alls. Taken back right at midcourt by Gemma. Pedroza rips a pass inside. Bumping a foul is going to go on Lockey. Warriors really started out the game pushing the tempo, as leaning back and missing short was Pedroza. Really did well pushing the tempo, but not turning the ball over. Since then, they've turned it over 6 times in just the last few minutes. Shahad Bakar from distance. She was left all alone. Warriors get it back to within 1. 2-on-2 the other way. They'll try a 3. That doesn't go. Rebound Lockey. And the Warriors are off and running with Amari Martin. Bakar gonna try again for 3. That one's through. Back-to-back Bakar. Warriors by 2 in the final seconds of the first. They have not missed from 3-point range. They're 3 out of 3. Amari Martin hit the first one. Shahad Bakar has gone back-to-back here in the final minute or so. Now running up the floor, Rodriguez. That's an offensive foul with 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. Warriors by 2. And just like that, with those 2 3 balls for Shahad Bakar, she now has a team-high 6, just outpacing Amari Martin and Tambry Williams, who each have 5. J.C. Summers and Melanie Moore, the other Warriors scorers here in the first, they each have 4. On the other side, Emma Pedroza leads everyone with 7. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot clock is off, so they can take it all the way down, nearly throw it away in the corner. Demi Rodriguez tried to tie it up on the floor. The Warriors do tie it up and will go the other way with 3.5 seconds to go. Warriors by 2. And if you were with us here last Saturday for the men's game, you know Brody Parker went the distance in 4.5 seconds. We'll see what the Warriors women can do here with Amari Martin, who heaves, and that's off the glass, no good from half court. But the Warriors will settle for a 2-point lead after 10 minutes of play. We'll take a quick timeout as we head to the second from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character. I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
Rochester Christian leads it by 2 after 1 as they go 60% from the floor in that first quarter of play, and they started out hot, going 6 out of 8 in just the first couple minutes. And right now the difference in the basketball game after that first quarter is the 2 technical foul free throws that J.C. Summers hit before the opening tip, as the Gray Wolves were hit with a technical foul right before the opening tip. Amari Martin comes in, knocks the ball away, but they'll say it's off Pedroza and out of bounds. So again, that 2-point lead by the Warriors. And you also saw Shahad Bakar towards the end of that opening quarter knock down a couple threes. She's got 6 points as Rodriguez skips it over. Amari Martin wants a 3. That's not going to go for it. Offensive rebound put back up and does not go for more, but she draws the foul. Couple free throws for more. First one pops out. First miss of the night at the free throw line for the Warriors as Moore misses both. Again, Warriors as a team, not a high percentage free throw shooting team, came in just 54% in their first 7 games. After those couple misses by Moore, they'll go to 3 out of 5 on the night so far. 8 seconds to shoot. Pedroza bounce pass to the interior, and a whistle on the bounce pass in. Looks like just a kick ball on that entry pass by Pedroza. Reset the shot clock to 20. She'll trigger on the inbound as that gets away and into the Warriors bench. That's a turnover. Simone Andrews was the closest Warrior there on the ball. Made it difficult for them to get it in cleanly. So in just the first 45 seconds of the second quarter, pair of turnovers by the Gray Wolves. They now have 4. Go inside, Summers tries to skip it back outside. That was intercepted. And they're on the run up the floor, lay in good. Looks like that was Tamaya Worthy on the steal and the lay-in, now harassing Amari Martin on the ball. Rodriguez goes to the elbow. Extra pass outside. Three is on the way and off by Andrews. Andrews hit a couple of threes in their last game against Cornerstone as Worthy runs the floor again and gets the lay-in. They'll drop it off to Rodriguez, who wants a three. Got the three. Oh, and they're going to tee her up after she knocked it down. She had something to say after she hit it, and she said it right in front of the official, just in front of us. So Coach Ocampo having a quick word with her as the clock stops with 8:15 to go in the first half. Warriors do get the lead back on the three ball by Rodriguez, but she'll pick up her second with that technical. That'll be the 4-3 for the Warriors. They came into this one shooting it only about 27% from three, currently sitting at 57% so far in this first half. And one player that can knock down a three for them has just come back into the ball game. It's Ashley Loon. Technical foul free throws for Gemma. She hits the first, and we're square at 27. She'll have one more. And she makes good on both. Five out of five at the free throw line for Lourdes so far. Gets them the lead back, 28-27. So it was a three-pointer by Demi Rodriguez. Then she gets teed up after she knocked it down. And Gemma hit both technical foul free throws. This one's poked away, but will stay here as that's off Simone Andrews out of play. So that's now a technical foul going both ways so far in just this first half. Gemma gets by a couple Warriors defenders. Three is up on the far sideline, popped out, and unable to hold it in was Pedroza. Pedroza has already attempted 9 shots so far in this one. She's hit 3 of those, has 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Comes in averaging just about 16 shots per contest, so we'll certainly see more of her as the night goes on. Melanie Moore goes up and gets fouled. So far for Moore, 4 points and 5 boards. Also has an assist as well, coming back in the first quarter. Just hasn't had any luck at the free throw line so far. Now 0 for 3 with that last miss. She'll have one more coming her way. Warriors made their first 3. They've since missed their last 3, but Moore puts a stop to it and knocks down her second. So she'll go 1 out of 4 to start this one at the line. Extra pass rejected. Ashley Loon. Up the floor goes for Summers. Can't finish. Rebound finds its way to a white jersey. Loon, long 2, and it's through. Warriors got to that loose ball rebound. It looks like that was Andrews that got it. She found Loon, and Loon knocked down the 2. Back and forth we go in this first half. Pedroza calls glass and scores. That's 9 now for her so far in the first half. Backing in goes Moore. Extra pass finds Summer open for 3. JC Summers can't knock it down, gets it right back, drives in, floats. It doesn't go for her either. 2-on-2 the other way, finds a wide open Nadine Gemma. Gemma has had a solid first half so far. Reverse it to Summers, go straight away for Melanie Moore. Thought about the three for a moment, kept it moving to Loon. Underhand flip comes up short. For Gemma, that last lay-in, 3 out of 4 to begin this one, has 10 points. Has also knocked down a couple threes. Pull up at the elbow, that's well off for Emma Pedroza. Galloping through the lane, it pinballs and does not go for Andrews. Lob it up the floor. Bounce it to the baseline and will stay here. Warriors were able to get to it, but unable to hold it in was Simone Andrews. 5:28 to go in the first half, 32-30, as we have gone back and forth throughout this first half. Lourdes shooting at 46%. Rochester Christian not that far off at just a tick under 46%. Warriors 4 out of 8 from three-point range as there's a whistle on the inside. And as we're in the middle stages of our second quarter, Warriors have only turned it over one time this quarter, turned it over 8 times in the opening frame. Bounce pass comes in, Stringfellow lobs it up, does not go. Moore battles for the rebound and comes away with it. Simone Andrews into the front court with it, off a screen from Williams, pulls up and rips the net. First basket for Simone Andrews tonight, coming off that 15-point outing just last Wednesday. Rebound for Williams. Her pass looking for Andrews gets stolen. Shot does not go. It was a wild shot off board. Swinging around for Ashley Loon. Haven't called Loon's name much at the offensive end just yet in this one, but did have a rejection earlier on in this half as the long two is through. 4:15 to go in the first half. Couple subs getting ready to come in for both sides. Looks like it's Mila Alls for the Warriors. We'll get you the Grey Wolves subs in just a moment. 3 is up, and Lockie triples. Warriors finding their three-point stroke here in the first half as they go 5 out of 9. Lockie hits one. Amari Martin has hit one as well. Shahad Bakar has a pair. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Warriors by just 1 with 3:54 to go in the first half. Mentioned on the other side of this timeout, looks like Mila Alls will come in for the Warriors. Grace Ryan looks to be one of the subs for the Grey Wolves, but we'll take a quick timeout from Garth Pleasant Arena on the RC Sports Network. It has been a back and forth first half of action. We still have 3:54 to go in the first half. Stephen McDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Warriors lead it by 1 thanks to 5 of 9 shooting from three-point range, also 48% from the floor overall. Shahad Bakar still has a team-high 6. Couple players all with 5, Amari Martin, Tambry Williams, and Melanie Moore. J.C. Summers has 4. Baseline inbound for the Gray Wolves. They're led by Nadine Gemma with 10. Send it this way for Stringfellow, who walks the baseline. Tapped out of bounds, will stay this direction. That pass was looking for Grace Ryan. Emma Pedroza, 4 out of 11 shooting, has 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists so far in this one. Turning, shooting, and it won't go. Couple hops off the rim, and will go down the other direction. Still Warriors by 1 as they come up with the stop there. Just about 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Send it over Loon. Looks at a 3. Halfway down it pops out. Offensive rebound Williams. It's tied up. And we've got a whistle and a foul. Looks like they'll get Deja. Coming back in, a quick rest for Pedroza. She'll go in for Carly Maple. Summers quickly back up off the bench. She'll come in for Lockie. Inbound comes right to Summers. She'll come this way for Loon. Try to post it up for Williams. Turns, sends it back outside. 12 to shoot for the Warriors as they cycle it around to Simone Andrews with 8. She takes a look, drives baseline, pulls up, and it hits off the back of the iron. In the hands of Nadine Gemma. 10 points for her so far. She's only taken 4 shots, but she's knocked down a couple threes as here's a kick ball. Also 2 out of 2 at the free throw line for Nadine Gemma. Both those free throws coming off a technical foul. 2:52 to go in the half. Bounce pass comes into the baseline, and a little overzealous that time by Mila Alls. She'll step out. Melanie Moore comes in for her. Looks like Amari Martin's set to check back in as well. She'll come get Ashley Loon. That'll be the first foul on Mila Alls, team's 4th. Here's Pedroza with it, being marked by Martin. They'll go to the logo for Deja. Little back and forth passing. 10 to shoot for Lourdes. And an offensive foul. That'll go against Stringfellow. Tried to go dribble handoff for Nadine Gemma, but didn't set her feet before doing so they get her for the moving screen. And now back in comes Shahad Bakar. She'll go get Simone Andrews. And now Cameron Ivy comes in for Lourdes, so both head coaches, Jared Ocampo and Tandy Bradford, utilizing their benches here of late. 2.5 to go in the half. Just above the free throw line it goes for Moore. Swing it around the arc for Shahad Bakar, who's already hit a couple threes. And that'll be an offensive foul on the Warriors, much to the pleasure of head coach Tandy Bradford. Coach Bradford in her 4th season. Gray Wolves went 12-16 a year ago, went 10-12 in conference play, but ended the regular season on a high note, finishing 5-1 over their last 6 games before falling in the first round of the WAC tournament to Concordia Ann Arbor. And one of those 5 wins that they ended the regular season with was a victory over Rochester Christian. Floater from the baseline comes off the heel, tapped out to Shahad Bakar. She's off and running but does not have numbers. Swings it into the corner for Summers. Back this way for Martin. Bakar walks in, back outside for Martin. Still 12 to shoot as she goes up. It's short, got her own miss, turns inside and scores. Final minute 40 of the first half, Warriors by 3, in what has been a solid first 19 minutes or so for them against a 6-1 Gray Wolves squad who has come into town 2-0 in WAC play. This was tipped by Bakar. It's out near midcourt, stolen by Moore. Runway is clear and the lay-in is good. 5-point lead for the Warriors. That's a timeout called by the Gray Wolves. 1:13 to go in the half. We will step aside for a moment as head coach Tandy Bradford has seen enough. 39-34 our score, 1:13 to go in the half from Garth Pleasant Arena. This is your home for Warriors basketball. Welcome back inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Final 70 seconds of our first half. Warriors lead it by 5. Gemma wants a 3 out of the timeout. She catches air. That's held in by the Gray Wolves. Finds its way to the far side for 3. That's not going to go for Pedroza. Battle for the rebound is picked off the floor by Tambry Williams. 3-on-3 the other way. Stopping and sending it back outside was Bakar. Dribble drive for Martin. It does not go. Williams fighting for the rebound. Final 40 seconds of the first half. Up the floor for Nadine Gemma, who cannot hit. Follow-up doesn't go either, but a whistle and a foul on the Warriors. That'll stop the clock with 34.4 seconds to go in the half. Gray Wolves at the free throw line where they have not missed just yet in this half. That'll put them at 6 out of 6 with that make. Warriors started 3 out of 3 at the line. They're since 1 out of 4 to give them 4 out of 7. Second free throw doesn't go. Second chance opportunity doesn't go either. And as they outlet it to J.C. Summers, Coach Ocampo calls time. And only a few tenths of a second, it looks like, came off the clock there, still showing 34.1. Warriors call time. They lead it by 4. Will stay here during the timeout. Warriors have done much better in the turnover department here in the second quarter. They've turned it over just twice in the second, turned it over 8 times in the first. And they've shot it well in this half, 45% overall. They're 5 out of 10 from three-point range. That's an area where Lourdes has struggled so far in this one. Only shot at 34% on the year from three-point range did the Gray Wolves. They're shooting at 3 of 11 here in the first half. Amari Martin and Melanie Moore have 7 points. Moore also has 7 rebounds to her credit. Shahad Bakar has 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. On the other side for the Gray Wolves, Nadine Gemma with 10 points on 2 of 4 shooting from three-point range, while Emma Pedroza, 4 out of 12, not one of her more efficient halves of basketball shooting it, but still has 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Warriors also in control of the rebounding battle so far in this one. They're +9 in rebounding. They're also +2 in terms of offensive rebounds. They have 8 offensive rebounds so far in this one. And they've assisted on 9 out of their 15 field goals. Simone Andrews leads the Warriors, in fact, in terms of assists. She has 4. Shahad Bakar has 2. Amari Martin, Melanie Moore, and J.C. Summers have the other assists for Rochester Christian. Little give and go out of the timeout, inbound feed. There's about a 3.5-second difference between clocks. Warriors will have to get a shot away here. They'll go straight away with 12 to shoot. And the shot clock actually went dead inside the arena. There's 5 seconds to go in the half. Not sure the Grey Wolves see it. 2 seconds and 1 as Pedroza puts up a shot that was well after the buzzer, even if it had come anywhere close. And at the end of 20 minutes, the Warriors will take a 4-point lead into the halftime locker room. 39-35 is the halftime score. They shoot at 44% in that first half, 5 out of 10 from three-point range. Amari Martin, 7 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Melanie Moore eyeing a double-double so far in this one, 7 points, 7 rebounds, while Shahad Bakar, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Tambry Williams also solid first half, 5 points, 4 rebounds for her. On the other side, Nadine Gemma, 10 points, Emma Pedroza, 9 points, and Tamaya Worthy, 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. But the Warriors will take the 39-35 lead into the halftime break on the RC Sports Network. at the half between the Rochester Christian Warriors and the Lourdes Gray Wolves. Warriors lead it by 4 after the first half of play. If you're just joining us here on the RC Sports Network, Stephen MacDonald here with you. Taking a look now at some of those stats from the first 20 minutes of play. Warriors shot it well in that first half, 15 out of 34, also 5 out of 10 from three-point range. Shahad Bakar knocked down a couple. Other Warriors hitting a three in that first half include Amari Martin, who hit the first one for the Warriors, and Emily Lockey knocked one down as well. Demi Rodriguez hit one in that first half as well. That was the other three for the Warriors in that first 20 minutes, but when she hit hers, was actually hit with a technical foul as she made her way back down the floor. Nadine Gemma hit both the technical foul free throws. Both sides were assist a technical in that first half. Warriors were issued the one for Rodriguez, and before we even tipped off tonight, the Gray Wolves were issued a technical foul before the opening tip. J.C. Summers hit 2 free throws there, and the Warriors actually did the opening tip-off, leading it 2-0. Not something that you typically see, but that is how we began this one inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. And a reminder that just about a half hour after this one wraps up, we'll have the men's contest as the Warriors and Gray Wolves will do battle later on tonight. That's an estimated 7:30 p.m. Eastern start. We'll have the pregame show for you here 10 minutes before the opening tip, so stay tuned for that. Again, that'll be 30 minutes after this one concludes. Still at the half between the Warriors and Gray Wolves for the women's competition. 39-35 is the halftime score. We'll step aside. Second half on the other side on the RC Sports Network. still at the half between the Warriors and the Gray Wolves on the RC Sports Network from inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Stephen MacDonald here with you. 39-35 is our halftime score. Take a look once again at the stats from that first 20 minutes of action. Warriors outshooting the Gray Wolves and outpacing them in terms of three-point shooting as well. And if you're head coach Jared Ocampo, you're hoping that your team can put together another 20 minutes the way you did in that first half of play. Maybe turn down the turnovers just a little bit. Only turned it over twice, though, in the second quarter of play after turning it over 8 times in the opening quarter. And on the other side, for the Gray Wolves, if you're head coach Tandy Bradford, you want to see some of the regulars get into the action a little bit more. Talk about players like Emma Pedroza come in just about 19 points per game. She did finish the first half with 9 points, so right about on that pace, but only shot at 4 out of 12 from the floor. And then you look at others like Macy Stringfellow, finished with 4 points in that first half. She averages almost 15 per game on the season so far, so you'd like to see her get going a bit. And Grace Ryan, another one, averages just over 9 points per game coming into play tonight. She only had 4 in that first half, as she and Grace Ryan combined for just 3 out of 9 in that first half of play. So again, if you're the Warriors, tone down the turnovers a little bit, and on the other side for the Gray Wolves, try to get some of those usual suspects going a bit here in the second half, as they only find themselves down 4 at this point in the contest. Again, second half just moments away on the RC Sports Network. Amari Martin, Melanie Moore led the way for the Warriors in that first half, 7 points apiece. Melanie Moore also finished that first half with 7 rebounds. She'll look to get a double-double here in the third quarter, possibly. Shahad Bakar knocked down a couple threes in that first half. She has 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. On the other side, Nadine Gemma with 10 points to lead her squad. Pedroza has 9, and Tamaya Worthy 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist in that first half of action. Both teams have made their way back out on the floor. Halftime just about wrapped up. And again, before we dip our toe into this third quarter, I'd like to remind you that the men's game will take place just about 30 minutes after this one wraps up. So stick with us here on the RC Sports Network. More to come later on tonight. And here we go. Second half is underway. Warriors will start us out with it. Amari Martin dumps it high post for Williams. Goes to the free throw line area for Summers. Andrews goes baseline, runs up the floater. That's well short. Pedroza wants to force the issue. That was knocked away by Moore. Simone Andrews went down a little bit behind the play, and the lay-in goes. First bucket of our second half goes to the Gray Wolves. Martin eyes a three. That's off the front end. Rebound comes down to Deja. Stepping back into the corner for three. Does not go for Tamaya Worthy. Andrews, foot on the gas, underhand flip goes up and over. Offensive rebound, Moore outside, all alone for three. Book it! JC Summers for three. That's just her second basket of the night. But that'll put her up top with Amari Martin and Melanie Moore, all with 7. Turning, throwing one up, doesn't go. Reverse lay-in doesn't go either by Pedroza. And now it's stolen underneath the hoop. Whistle and a foul is going to go on Amari Martin. 8:25 to go in the third quarter. And again, third quarter starting out much like the first half started for both sides, just fast-paced, baseline to baseline action. First free throws up and through. Gray Wolves have shot it at a high percentage here tonight from the free throw line as the second one comes up short. Corralled by Moore. Rush it up the floor looking for Summers. Too hot to handle. Couldn't get her feet under her, and that's a turnover out of play. `11th turnover by the Warriors. Again, just had 2 in the second quarter. Pedroza wants a 3. That's not going to go for her. On the baseline it goes and will stay on the right side of your screen. Pedroza just 1 out of 5 from three-point range with that last miss. Try to come this way into the corner looking for Deja. That's tapped away by Summers. So we'll just try again from the near side. And Pedroza coming into this one had been a high percentage shooter from 3. Was 14 of 33 coming into this one. Good for 42%. Turning inside, throwing one up and scoring. That's Grace Ryan. 42-40 as we're 2 minutes into this third quarter. Pedroza into the front court. Warriors respond at the other end with the 2 of their own. Get that lead back out to 4. Bumping a foul as they try to post it up for Grace Ryan. Looks like they'll get more. That should be the second on Moore, and it is. Baseline inbound from Pedroza. Knocked away, and it'll stay this direction. Summers disagrees, but in any case, it will stay here. Gemma finally gives it up to Pedroza with 10 to shoot. A little bit of an off arm there by Pedroza. Warriors bench wanted the call, don't get it. Lay-in does not go. There's a battle for it, and it's tied up. And at the end of all that, the possession arrow favors Lourdes, so we'll stay here in a 4-point game with 7:10 to go in the third. It'll be another baseline inbound for Pedroza. Turning, shooting, comes up short. Looks like that was worthy. Warriors on the break, up the floor to Moore. Yes! The Warriors are showing that when they have a chance to go, they are putting their foot on the gas. Moore gets the lay-in and 1, but she's 1 out of 4 at the line tonight and make it 1 out of 5 with that miss. Picked up off the floor by Grace Ryan. They'll try to rush it up the floor, and that's a turnover by the Gray Wolves. Melanie Moore with that last bucket. 4 out of 4 from the floor, but again, has not shot it well at the line tonight, but still has 9 points and 9 rebounds. Williams turns just above the elbow, gives it off. Andrews wants a 3. That rattles off. Rebound to Ryan. She came in averaging 4 rebounds per game, did Grace Ryan, as this one swiped by the Warriors. 2-on-1 the other way, scoop and a score for Simone Andrews. And it's an 8-point lead by Rochester Christian. They'll pick up some full court pressure here and now drop back in their defensive half. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Settle it down with Pedroza, who's 4 out of 14 shooting in this one. Now she's trapped by Moore. Flip it far side, 3 is up, and that's not going to go for Deja. And that's out of bounds over to the Warriors. Summers will check out. Looks like Lockie comes in for her. Warriors 48 and Lourdes 40. They're outscoring the Gray Wolves 9-5 here in the third, as they led it 39-35 at the break. Here's Moore. Pull-up jumper comes up short. Outside it goes to Lockie. Extra pass to a driving Martin, who hangs, can't hit. And away with it comes Pedroza. Warriors do well to get back defensively. Extra pass goes inside for Ryan, who lays it in. Warriors got back defensively there, but nobody got inside the paint. Ryan just walked in and laid it in. Still a 6-point lead for Rochester Christian as they go to Williams. Williams goes inside and has it ripped away by Grace Ryan. Inside of 5 to play here in the third. A sub getting ready to come in for the Gray Wolves at the next opportunity. Here's Gemma. Wants to go inside and does. Extra passes tipped and picked by Melanie Moore, and she took an extra step and traveled with it. Wanted to go up the floor looking for Emily Lockie, but just took that extra step with it before she let it go. That'll send us to the third quarter media timeout. 4:35 to go in the third. Warriors 48, Gray Wolves 42. We will take the quick timeout on the RC Sports Network.
The value of champions character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Rochester Christian leads at 48-42. There's still 4:35 to go here in the third quarter inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. Stephen MacDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Warriors have forced Lourdes to shoot it roughly 11% below their season average in terms of field goal shooting so far. Came in right around 45.5% from the floor on the season. They're shooting it just under 35% for the game so far. Warriors have also shot it fairly well from three-point range. They're 6 out of 12 for a team that came into this one shooting at 27% from three-point range. Summers dispenses that inbound feed along the baseline, so we'll try it again from the other side. In tight, in close jump shot goes. High percentage look there on the inbound feed by the Gray Wolves. That cuts it back to a 4-point differential. Here Summers goes straight away for Moore. Moore trying to work her way through off the interchange with Lockie, gets called for the foul. Offensive foul on Moore. That's number 3 on her. Has 9 points and 10 boards so far tonight. Big part of why the Warriors are in front in this one. As she steps in front, takes it away, has one player to beat, and she lays it in past Gemma. Give her a double-double, 11 and 10 boards. Another short rest for Emma Pedroza. She heads over to the scorer's table as the bounce pass goes in. Going up for the shot was Worthy. She got fouled by Summers. And with those 3 fouls on Moore, she'll sit down, and Mila Alls comes in. Now Coach Ocampo, going further into his bench, brings in Shahad Bakar, Carmen Lowry, and looks like Demi Rodriguez as well. Worthy at the free throw line, knocks down the first. Second one does not go for Worthy. This is tapped out of play and will go the other direction. 1 out of 2 at the line for Worthy there. Lourdes sticking around, down by 5, but again, the Warriors seem like they have the answer here tonight. Lowry gonna go baseline, goes all the way in, but left the lay-in try short as she drew a crowd right at the rim, stopping and scoring. That looks to be Worthy. And it's back to a 3-point ball game. Far side of the floor, Rodriguez steps into a 3 and banks it home. This time made sure on her way back down the floor, didn't do anything to draw the attention of the officiating crew. Her 3 back in the first half drew a technical foul as that one rattles home. Shahad Bakar between the legs, gives it off to Rodriguez, right about where she hit that 3 a moment ago, as this is ripped away. Grace Ryan has been active on the defensive floor tonight, defensive side of the floor, I should say. Skip it this way for Maple, turns back against Lowry, now gets down to the baseline, puts it up, and it falls. 53-51, final 2 minutes of action here in the third. Bakar goes all the way in, tried to underhand a lay-in, had it ripped away by Worthy, who gets bumped and fouled in transition. Ashley Loon and Simone Andrews will come in. Lowry and Bakar will sit for the Warriors, who lead it by just 2 now. Cameron Ivy will come in. Looks like she'll come in after these free throws. Looks to be Worthy at the free throw line. Knocks down the first. Has a chance to level us with her second. And she will not do so. Ball's loose on the floor. Players diving after it. It's a tie-up, and the possession arrow favors the Warriors. Rodriguez comes this way, Loon for 3. One hop off the rim, offensive rebound, Alls, who gets hacked and fouled. Minute 32 to go in the third. So Worthy with the free throw down at the other end, 14 points for her, has attempted 8 free throws in this one. She's made 4. First free throw is good for Mila Alls. First free throws of the night for her. Second one does not go. So Alls has 1 point, 1 rebound, and 1 assist as she was putting some pressure on the ball against Grace Ryan there. It was knocked out of bounds, but it'll stay in possession with the Gray Wolves. Emma Pedroza on the inbound. Pedroza 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists so far, but 5 out of 15 from the floor. Has it here against Loon. She'll get all the way to the baseline, stops, fires, it does not go. And the Warriors come away with it with a possible 3-on-2 here. Outlet to Loon, extra pass, Summers for 3. Give me that! The Warriors have found the 3 ball when they've needed it tonight. They're 53% on 3-pointers as Summers knocks down the team's 8th of the night. Whistle and a foul here on the dribble handoff. Looks like they're going to get, looks like Loon. For Loon, just her first. But again, the Warriors shooting at roughly 45% in this one, 53% from 3-point range. First free throw is buried by Pedroza. That'll give Pedroza 12. Also, first free throws of the night for her as she hits both. Andrews puts her head down, splits a double team, and draws the blocking foul. Just worked her way right in and went right at Cameron Ivy. Clock stops with 38.4 seconds to go in the third. Warriors by 3 and a chance to tack on at the free throw line. Too strong on the first try by Andrews. Warriors 5 out of 11 at the line with that miss by Andrews. She'll have one more coming her way. And better on the second. 4-point game. There's about a 8-second difference between clocks. Into the corner it goes. Gemma for 3. That runs off the rim. Rebound tapped. And that's off Mila Alls. Check that. That was Demi Rodriguez, rather. 24.5 seconds to go in the quarter. Reset the shot clock to 20. So now a mere 4.5-second difference. Tried to wrap it around on the baseline, tie it up, and now both players go down to the floor. But they'll call a tie-up possession arrow once more. Will stay at this end. .9 seconds to go in the quarter, 13 to shoot for the Gray Wolves. Hanging, and it won't go for Pedroza. Second shot does. 58-56, final 7 seconds. Andrews trying to go coast to coast. Extra pass Loon, one more time for Andrews for 3. That won't go at the buzzer, and that does. They say count the basket on the putback just before the clock expired. And the Warriors will take a 4-point lead into the fourth, 60-56 after 3. We will take a quick timeout as we transition to the fourth quarter from Garth Pleasant Arena. Come back with some stats through the first 3 quarters of play, but it's 60-56 Warriors after 3 on your home for Warriors basketball.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character. I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
I am a champion of character.
Three quarters down, 1 to go from Garth Pleasant Arena. Rochester Christian leads it 60-56 as we're just about ready for the final quarter between the Warriors and Gray Wolves. Lourdes came into this one 6-1 on the season, 2-0 already in WAC play. Warriors 1-6 with an 0-1 mark in conference play. They fell last Wednesday on the road at Cornerstone. Warriors have shot at 45% from the floor in this one, 50% from three-point range. They're 8 out of 16 from three-point range. And after turning it over 8 times in the first quarter, Rochester Christian turning it over 8 times in the last 2 quarters combined, turned it over just twice in the second. Melanie Moore leads the Warriors 11 points and 10 rebounds. JC Summers has 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist so far. Simone Andrews currently 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. On the other side for Lourdes, Tamaya Worthy 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Emma Pedroza 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and Nadine Gemma, the other Gray Wolves player in double figures, has 10 points. Officials are discussing something. Now they'll have a word with Warriors head coach Jared Ocampo as we're awaiting whatever their conversation is to begin our fourth quarter. And if I had to guess, Stephen MacDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network, if I had to guess, they're probably taking a look at that shot just before the quarter buzzer a few moments ago. Warriors missed a corner 3, had a putback at the buzzer for 2. They originally counted it to make it 60-56, although judging by what's going on right now inside the arena, it does not look like that will stick as they're trying to rework the Warriors score up on the arena scoreboard. So it appears once they get that straightened out, it should be 58-56. And it looks as though that is what the holdup is, trying to get the score corrected on the scoreboard here inside the arena. The live stats show that change, 58-56, in our live stats feed. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Warriors while we have a moment. Their next game will come on Wednesday, the 4th of December, as they go to Aquinas. Then a couple days later on the 7th, they'll be at Madonna. Then a week later on Saturday, December 14th, they'll return home to Garth Pleasant Arena to take on Lawrence Tech at 1 o'clock. That'll be a doubleheader with the men's team. The men's game will take place, as always, about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game. We'll have both of those for you here on the RC Sports Network with yours truly on the call. So that is the upcoming schedule for the Warriors. And as promised, the men's game between the Warriors and the Gray Wolves will take place just about 30 minutes after this one concludes, although a bit of a delay in that as they're still working on that score inside the arena. Still awaiting the start of our fourth quarter of play as they continue to work out the kinks on the scoreboard at the scorer's table across the way. Taking away that 2 by the Warriors there at the end of the third quarter doesn't really change a whole lot for them statistically. They go from shooting 45% for the game to shooting 44%. And turns what was for a brief moment of time a 4-point game and turns it back to a 2-point game. And after all of that, Ashley Loon goes to inbound the basketball, and the official says, let's try it one more time. And now we are set to go with the fourth quarter of play. It was a long road to get here, but we are underway in the fourth. Summers straightaway logo 3 is up, and that was well off to the left, just pushed it. Warriors come up empty on their first possession of the quarter. Pedroza has it. Pedroza, 5 assists already in this one. They'll go inside looking for Grace Ryan, who turns it over. So both teams come up empty on their first possession of the fourth. Cameron Ivey will sit down. Warriors by 2 with the basketball. Martin wants to drive towards the baseline, stops, bounces it into the corner, extra pass, Loon for 3, book it! First 3 of the night for Ashley Loon. And if you leave her open like that, she will make you pay. 61-56, hanging shot by Pedroza does not go off the heel. Tie it up on the floor, and will stay at this end with the Gray Wolves. And again, Pedroza filling up the stat sheet, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Has not shot it particularly well. 5 out of 18 with that last miss, and only 1 of 5 from 3-point range, as turning and scoring goes Grace Ryan. Already a minute and a half into our fourth quarter. Swing it around the arc to Martin. Floated inside looking for Moore, who has it ripped away and out of play. Moore has 11 and 10 rebounds. J.C. Summers is the other Warrior in double figures with 10. The Gray Wolves have 3 players in double figures, led by Tamaya Worthy's 14. This shot doesn't go for Martin. Rebound picked up over in the near side left corner by Gemma. Into the corner, up fake by Deja. Straight away for Gemma. Just at the elbow, send it outside long. 2 is on the way, and that's too strong. Follow-up doesn't go either. Pedroza inside buries it. (61-60). Moore picks it up. got knocked down. Martin, wide open three, and it's through. The three ball has been working for the Warriors tonight. A contested two on the other end, no good by Pedroza, last touched by Lourdes, as Macy Stringfellow will check in for Olivia Deja. Looks like Lockie will come in for Summers. And it looks like a timeout called on the floor. 64-60, Warriors lead with 7:19 to go in the basketball game. We will step aside on your home for Warriors basketball. Warriors lead it by 4, 64-60, with 7:19 to go in the game, as they've shot it at a high percentage from three here tonight. 10 out of 19, good for just over 52% for the game. Martin knocked one down just a moment ago. And for Martin, puts her in double figures with 10. That was her second three of the night. And there's multiple Warriors with more than one three so far. Summers has two. Martin knocked down her second. Shahad Bakar has two, both going back to the first half. Demi Rodriguez has two. They'll post it up for Moore, who's already got a double-double. She'll turn, go off glass. Counted and a foul. Have a game, Melanie Moore. That's 13 and 11 rebounds for her. She'll step to the free throw line, but only 1 of 5 at the line so far for her. As Coach Ocampo looks on, she'll come up short, and this is tapped out by the Gray Wolves. And traveling with it, trying to turn up floor, was Tamaya Worthy. 7 minutes exactly to go in the game. Warriors lead it by a couple possessions. And this would be a big win for Rochester Christian if they can hang on here over these next 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Would pick up their first win in conference play in just their second go of it. Float it this way, Lockie. Looked at the three for a moment. She'll send it back outside for Andrews, who has 7 to shoot. Throws it up, no, but a foul's called. Two shots coming for Andrews. Foul goes on Worthy, her second, team second of this quarter. And it pops out for Andrews. Andrews, only a couple free throw attempts so far in this one, has made 1 out of 3 and make it 2 out of 4. And that'll extend the Warriors' lead just a touch. It's now out to 7 with 6.5 to go in the game. Turning with it, and it does not go. Came up short, but a whistle and a foul on the shot try by Grace Ryan. Ryan will step to the free throw line for just the second time tonight. 1 out of 1 at the line so far. Foul and a tough one goes on Melanie Moore. That's her 4th, as the free throw is good. 4th foul on Moore in what has been a solid game for her. 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists. And 1 out of 2 at the line for the Gray Wolves. Push it up the floor in the direction of Lockie, who goes up. Got her own miss, puts it back up, no. And will stay here. Tambry Williams was battling for the loose ball. Warriors calling out their inbound play. It'll be Andrews to trigger. Gets it into Amari Martin. Martin goes all the way into the middle, has it knocked away by Pedroza. And she could have gone the distance had it been clean. Looks like the whistle and the foul is gonna go. They got, that's Tamaya Worthy. Amari Martin goes to the free throw line, does not get the first one to fall as it went eerily quiet inside of Garth Pleasant Arena on that first free throw attempt. 6:07 to go in the game, still a 6-point lead, and make it 7 as she knocks down the second. Going all the way in as Pedroza gets tied up by Martin. That's a tied up ball, and the possession arrow favors the Warriors. Turnover number 12 for Lourdes. Warriors able to break the trap. Andrews for 3. That's off the side of the rim. Skipped out to the near side corner. Gemma for 3. That's too strong. Rebound was tapped out by Martin into the hands of Pedroza, who pulls up and rims it in. Lourdes is not going to go away. They're 2-0 already in conference play, 6-1 on the season, but the Warriors have done a good job keeping them at a bit of a distance, as that's an offensive foul called against the Warriors. It's going to go against Amari Martin on the drive. She'll pick up some full court pressure after the offensive foul. That's her 3rd foul as she's out there marking Pedroza. Pedroza goes all the way in, goes up, and it does not go. Tried to get it up and over the outstretched arms of Amari Martin that time. 5:08 to go in the game. 5-point lead for Rochester Christian. Pedroza's inbound is taken away by Andrews. 3-on-1 the other way. Williams got bumped offline, and it's out of bounds. 5 minutes exactly to go in the basketball game. We've got a timeout on the floor. 68-63, Warriors in front. We'll reset things for you on the other side of this timeout from Garth Pleasant Arena. This is your home for Warriors basketball.
The value of champions' character across all institutions is a message that we can all get behind.
The purpose behind Champions of Character is to have that student-athlete experience be one of growth.
Men's basketball on campus, we make sure that we give back with a smile and with a purpose.
Our goal as coaches is for our players to leave being better men, better husbands, better fathers, and better members in their community.
NAIA is Champions of Character.
Warriors lead it by 5 with 5 minutes to go in the basketball game. On the RC Sports Network, Stephen MacDonald here with you. A reminder that the men's game will tip off just about 30 minutes after this one wraps up. We'll have that for you here as always. 3 Warriors in double figures in this one. Melanie Moore, a double-double, 13 points and 12 rebounds. Not in the game currently because of 4 fouls. Amari Martin with 11, J.C. Summers with 10. On the other side, Pedroza up to 17 and 9 rebounds, also has 6 assists as well. Tamaya Worthy with 14, Grace Ryan and Nadine Gemma each with 10. Baseline inbound is stolen away by Worthy. That pass was intended for J.C. Summers. And now Summers going to get called for the foul out high as she bumped Stringfellow. Third foul on Summers, team's fourth. Gray Wolves with the basketball in the hands of Pedroza, down by 5. They do have 2 timeouts remaining if they need those the rest of the way. Elbow jumper is up, 1 hop off the rim, another rebound comes down to Moore, who actually is in the game. My apologies. Said coming out of the timeout that she was not out there, as that one splashes down off the curl for Simone Andrews. And now if you're the Warriors, you can start to feel it just a little bit. As this one tight to the baseline, send it back outside. Long 2 is up. And a long rebound for Summers, had it ripped away. Gemma for 3, that's too strong. Martin got a hand on the rebound, but it's out of play. Warriors offensively have outpaced themselves here tonight. Came into this one averaging 63 points per game as Summers jumps that pass. It finds its way to Pedroza, who misses. Warriors currently with 70 points so far in this one, as this one's tied up on the floor. Possession arrow stays at this end. And you take a deeper dive into it. Came in 40% shooting per game on the year, 43% so far in this one, but the big one, 50% from 3 so far tonight, only shot at 27% from 3 on the season. Summers tried to reject it, and it falls anyway. 70-65 with 3:35 to go. Andrews reverses it through Loon. Far side of the floor for Amari Martin. Summers gallops in, goes off glass, no. Away with it comes the Gray Wolves and Stringfellow. She'll give it off to Pedroza. Pedroza working left against Loon. Bounce pass to the interior, turned it over. Pedroza needs 1 more rebound for a double-double in this one. Has 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. And there's 3 minutes to go in the game. Here's Andrews at the elbow, doesn't get the shot, but draws the foul. She'll go to the free throw line where she's 2 out of 4 tonight. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists for her. Clock stops with 2:55 remaining. Warriors currently have the possession arrow, and Lourdes has 2 timeouts to work with. Comes up short on the first free throw. So if you're the Warriors for the final 2:55, as they've done for most of the evening, anytime that ball hits the floor, got to make sure they're getting somebody down to go get it, as Andrews knocks in the second one. Warriors at times have turned this game into a track meet as Pedroza bounce past baseline, and it's swatted away and out of bounds. But for the final 2:40, they'll have to switch up the approach a bit, try to use some of that shot clock as best they can. Bounce pass came in for Worthy, working against Amari Martin, who lost the handle on the baseline. Another turnover by Lourdes. That'll be number 15 for them as a team. And really, you have to credit the work that the Warriors have done defensively tonight as Summers goes all the way into the middle, floats, it's off the heel. Melanie Moore was fighting for the rebound and will go the other way. Again, you have to credit the Warriors for their work defensively. Gray Wolves came into this one averaging 76 points per game. They're currently at 65, shooting it just below 37% for the game for a team that shoots it north of 45%. And they have not shot it well from three-point range tonight, just 3 out of 17, but they'll come away with the steal. Pedroza up the floor, Gemma for 3. That won't go either, tapped out of play. And we are going to go the other direction. And they do correct the call, as it definitely looked like Melanie Moore got the last touch on it. So it'll be a baseline inbound with 2 minutes to play. Floated inside. Grace Ryan goes up, missed everything. Offensive rebound is tied up. And once again, the possession arrow favors the Warriors. We'll get a timeout called on the floor. Looks like the Warriors and Coach Ocampo called it with 1:55 remaining. 71-65 is our score. And we have an excellent game coming your way here in just a bit on the RC Sports Network as the Warriors men's team takes on the Gray Wolves men's squad. Warriors come into that one 5-1 after they rattled off 5 straight wins to begin the regular season. They fell last Wednesday at Cornerstone in a close one. Of course, several of their last couple games have come down to the wire. We'll see if they have more of that in store for us later this evening. And the Gray Wolves on the other side come in a perfect 6-0 on the season, including a 2-0 mark in conference play. So again, 2 really high-scoring, fun teams coming your way in just a little bit. Warriors come into that matchup averaging 81 points per game to the Gray Wolves almost 86. So it should be a high-scoring affair when these two teams square off in just a moment. Deja got a hand on it. Martin lost the handle and turned it over on the far sideline, coming back out of the timeout. Head coach Tandy Bradford fired up after that last turnover that her defense just forced. They get it back trailing 71-65. Minute 45 to go in the basketball game. Pedroza spirals into the corner. Deja for 3. That catches air. Summers got the rebound. Up the floor for Andrews. They'll settle it into the half court. Still 20 on the shot clock. 90 seconds to go in the game. Whistle and a foul out high as Martin started to drive. Gray Wolves just 3 of 19 shooting from three-point range tonight. Pedroza, one of their better three-point shooters, just 1 of 5 from three-point range tonight, 7 out of 23 overall, but still 17 points and 9 rebounds. Also has 6 assists as well, as Martin does get the first free throw to fall. Out to a 7-point differential, has one more coming as the Warriors men's squad looks on, and she knocks down a pair. Simone Andrews pressuring the ball. Going in, fading back and scoring. 73-67. off the bucket by Nadine Gemma. It'll be a near sideline inbound for the Warriors with 1:05 remaining in a 6-point basketball game. Warriors looking for their second win on the season and their first win in conference play, as they played a difficult non-conference schedule, including teams like Marion and Rio Grande, although talking with head coach Jared Ocampo during preseason said that was by design, as Andrews steps up and hits the first free throw. Said that he wanted to test this team against some tougher competition like that, and of course you look at the exhibition as well with the Oakland Golden Grizzlies as another example of that. Said he wanted to test this team early and really see what kind of compete level they had. Pedroza steps into a three, that runs off the rim, battle for the rebound in tight. It's poked free on the baseline, 15 to shoot, 43 seconds and counting in the game. Lay-in rolls home, and a quick timeout called by Lourdes. 75-69, clock stops with 40.4 seconds to go. We'll take the quick timeout on the floor while we have a chance from Garth Pleasant Arena on your home for Warriors basketball. Warriors have 4 players in double figures. They've got a trio with 13. Andrews, Martin, and Moore all have 13 apiece. J.C. Summers, the other Warrior, in double figures with 10. Melanie Moore, a double-double, 13 and 14 rebounds. On the other side, Emma Pedroza, still looking for one more rebound for her double-double, has 17 and 9 rebounds, also has 7 assists as well. Tamaya Worthy, 14 points. Nadine Gemma, 12 points. Grace Ryan and Macy Stringfellow with 10 apiece. 75-69 as we make our way back out of the timeout. Warriors are in the bonus for the final 40.4 seconds of this one. Have not shot it particularly well at the line tonight, just 56% at the free throw line. But they have done well to keep Lourdes at a bit of a distance throughout this second half, as it's consistently been 2 or 3 possessions for most of this second half, and they have 40 more seconds to hold on. And that would send their record to 1-1 in the conference, and they would pick up their second win overall. Their other win coming against Lambton in their other home game of this regular season. They'll play keep away here as Simone Andrews finally does get grabbed and fouled with 32.5 seconds to go. So again, if you're the Warriors, it's how long can you play keep away before getting that foul call. Andrews heads back to the line where she hit a couple just a moment ago. First one's up, and it does fall. Could potentially put this game out of reach if she can hit this one, and does, rips the net. 77-69. Pedroza will push it across midcourt. Working against Loon, gets to the free throw line, extra pass, finds Stringfellow, goes in, and lays it in. And we'll get a quick timeout called by the Warriors. Believe that's their last timeout of the game with 22.8 seconds to go. It's a 6-point ball game as Coach Ocampo tries to diagram the closing seconds of this one as his team looks to go to 1-1 on the conference slate. They've shot at almost 42% for the game, 50% from three-point range. They've bumped up their free throw percentage to 60% for the night. On the other side, 37, we'll say, percent field goal percentage for Lourdes, but 3 of 20 from three-point range for them. As we start to make our way back out of the timeout, 22.8 seconds to go in the basketball game, 77-71 is the score. Stephen MacDonald here with you on the RC Sports Network. Warriors looking to close up shop on game number 1 of our doubleheader tonight, while the Gray Wolves looking for some magic here in the final 23 seconds. It'll be a far sideline inbound for Ashley Loon. The Warriors are out of timeouts as Martin gets grabbed and fouled. Lourdes does have one more timeout remaining for head coach Tandy Bradford, but it's free throws upcoming for Amari Martin. Martin 3 out of 4 at the line tonight is 13 points. Knocks down the first. Mentioned earlier on in our broadcast, Martin missed the first couple games of the regular season. This is just her 4th game so far on the year. Came in at just 3 points per game in those first 3 and has 14 as she hit the first free throw there just a moment ago. Came up short on the second and a tie up on the floor. 8.3 seconds to go. 78-71, possession arrow favors the Warriors. Tapped away, and once again, it'll be Warriors basketball. 6.8 seconds to go. Ashley Loon responsible for putting it back into play. Get it over to Amari Martin on the inbound, and it's swiped from her in the final seconds. Layup goes. And one with 0.1 seconds to go. Count the basket and one. It's not going to make a difference. There will be a free throw to put the finishing touches on this one. So really all that's left to be determined is what the final score will be. Currently 78-73, and make it 74 with the free throw. And with just a 1/10 of a second left, there you go. Inbound comes into Simone Andrews, and the Warriors hang on. 78-74 the final score as they get their first win on the conference slate. They go to 1-1 in WAC play and improve their record to 2-6 on the season overall. Meanwhile, they hand the Gray Wolves their first loss of the regular season. They fall to 6-1 on the year and 2-1 in conference play. Some final stats in this one before we sign off. Simone Andrews finishes with a team high 15. Amari Martin finished with 14. Melanie Moore gets the double-double at 13 points and 15 rebounds. On the other side in the loss for Lourdes, Emma Pedroza, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, came dangerously close to a triple-double in the loss. Tamaya Worthy finished with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But a big story in this one for the Warriors was the three-point shooting as they go 10 out of 20 from three-point range in the winning effort. So for SID Hussein Murray, my name's Stephen MacDonald saying so long from Garth Pleasant Arena, where your final score one final time is the Warriors 78 and the Gray Wolves 74. This has been a presentation of the RC Sports Network.